So I've been sitting here at this lot, just chilling. I had a large fry from Bojangles because it had been a while since I had them and I was craving something salty. I sat here and I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stream while I'm eating and title it something like, you guys, if you see this, ask me a question, interact with me, because I'm just streaming just to have a stream up. But then I changed my mind because I'm not used to doing it that way. I'm not used to just doing that, leaving a stream just open. It just feels like a waste. I like to be actively interacting with my subject or whatever. But if that's something that you guys think would be cool, let me know. But I think the only way that would work is if I'm able to schedule this stream so that you guys can anticipate it. Whatever. But then as I was sitting here, I was just kind of rewinding through my week. Yesterday, I had worked day 5 of 5. And then I was anticipating today for a disaster to happen because some people have had to be out. And I was telling my manager, yo, you're going to need it. Schedule me for like 2-3 hours of the most crucial times and I'll be there. I got rejected. And then this morning, I turn on my phone. Immediately my phone buzzes and it goes, hey, just to put this out there, if you want to help, you can. And I'm like, I woke up today thinking I was rejected. I'm not going to be needed. Whatever, I'm gonna let it go. Even though in my gut I could feel that wasn't going to be the case. It turns out that one of the folks we were counting on was not coming, couldn't show up at all today. So then I was specifically inquiring about this person's time. Like the time that this person picked up that I got rejected for, that ended up not getting covered, plus the stuff that we needed this person for anyway. So in my mind, I was like, sure, feed my arrogance, feed my pride. But like when I saw that, I said, I'm going to do my part, contribute a little bit. So since it was open, I acted like I was a ghost. I was like, I'm not here. I'm here. I'm going to get the stuff done, but I'm not here. And one of the things I told one of my squad members is, you know, I really hope that I get a clown customer complaint, which I don't ever get complaints really. Like I can go months without any incident with customers. The only thing that may happen to me is someone getting an attitude because they're actually more frustrated with themselves. And what makes me say that is the people who are not very technologically savvy, they get frustrated. Like it's my fault that they don't have their login information, that they don't know how to access things, like, you know. So I stopped making it about me. I used to take that shit personal sometimes, but I learned to let go. But what made me say, I hope I get a customer complaint, is that I wasn't supposed to be there. This is a sacrifice I am making. And if I were to get a clown say something like complain about anything, but more so maybe about my job performance or whatever, which I'm telling you, trust me, I do not give motives for you to ever have something negative to say. For real, I am thinking, are you listening to yourself? Listen to your fucking self. If you have this complaint to make, understand that you're complaining about the wrong person. Because especially long lines, that has been the primary complaint lately, because our team has been suffering with people getting sick, so they have to be out from work and stuff. But seriously, complain to me about long lines, especially since I am super fast and whatnot. But if you do that, if you complain about me, I will blow up at you. Just because. I hope I can get away with it. But I'm gonna be like, listen to yourself. You're coming through a line that wouldn't have been open if I would have said no to a manager this morning. Okay? So shut up and be grateful for what you have. But yeah, I enjoyed showing up in general because I liked that I was useful and that my gut feeling as I was experiencing it happened. But in addition, now that I look back, that means that if I count today's 2.25-ish hours that I was there, that means that I put myself on a 7-day stretch because tomorrow I gotta go in. And today was supposed to be my day off. But even if it's not remotely resembling a full shift, I still worked. I still sweat. I still felt like that little bit of soreness of I have not gotten enough rest in between tasks. I even ended up skipping the gym yesterday because I had something to do, which took me to another state. Today, I ended up responding to this assistance request. So I said, sure, let me do it. And on top of that, I need the money because I have had a couple of investments to perform that I wasn't counting on. And while I can somewhat do it without worrying a lot, I want to give myself that safety net and recover from what I did as soon as possible. While I was sitting out here, I couldn't help but think, I'm so grateful for the amount of noise that my apartment blocks out. Because here in a car out in the open, I hear everything much louder. Like, sure, from inside the apartment, you can hear cars, you can hear sirens, you can hear certain noises. But being parked out here actively, the ambience has much more stress-inducing noises going on. Cars that already sound loud are still there. You can perceive them, you can hear them, but hearing them from inside a car versus the apartment is much different. Here it sounds way louder. But yeah, it's crazy how even though you're in your house, maybe that's why houses are so crucial, because that's the place you can go to sort of hide from the things that are constantly overstimulating you, like traffic noise, the elements themselves, like say it being cold, it being rainy, things like that. So I don't know, I just thought I would just talk about the kind of thoughts that I have had today and what has kept me away for like 8 days now, because I remember that the last thing I posted on the channel was that stream that I had overnight, and after that, it's like, boom, I had to disappear because I had the worst schedule imaginable. And it definitely made me work the longest hours that I can recall ever working. But it was good. It's been good. I really wanted to talk more about how I actually don't feel toe up and stressed like I have felt before, doing a little less and spending a little less time working. But it doesn't mean that this is encouraging me to like do more and stuff, like, no. But I was able to see that something that I usually associate with being negative and stressful, it actually is something that can get better and I can conquer. I just needed to have the right model, influence, I guess, guide, leadership. I don't know what it's called, but it really makes a difference when you have people who are compatible not only with your personality but with like the vision that we all share. It's like, hey, we're here spending endless hours, we're in this together. It's gonna get rough in some spots, but just remember that you're not alone. And I'm coming from a place where I had been alone for such a fucking long time. And when I was actually surrounded by people, it wasn't people who were beneficial for my soul. It was people who there was friction in between. And I really couldn't see it that way because I never had an example of a time when things are working. You know, like I can say 100% everybody who's there now, I can feel confident about and comfortable with. And even those who are a little less compatible with me, they are manageable now. Probably because they are not being fed by people who matched them who don't match me. And maybe that's what made me feel alone and isolated. Everything just, it's beautiful that I can see now how everything just works out, arranges itself for you to see the better outcome. You just have to stick to it and just wait patiently and write it out, as opposed to just giving up right when you're about to bust that door or tear down the rocky wall where all the diamonds are hiding behind it. So unfortunately, this era that I'm experiencing, I'm sure is not going to be a permanent one. But for however long it lasts, I'm happy that it's happening, because this is creating the new standard that I want to see permanently. Let it be in my personal life and in my work life. So it's nice. Like I'm so jittery and like weirdly happy about it that I even feel myself shaking from like how excited I am, because this never fucking happened to me. And as soon as I slow down and stop myself to reflect on the shit that's happening and how it's happening, I'm able to see that some of the things I was fearful about losing, it was actually a good thing that I ended up losing that, because now I'm much happier. How the fuck am I happy? Like, I didn't think that was an emotion that I could experience again. That's it. I thought that I would share that with you guys. I know it was all over the place, but when I'm happy, I don't want to keep it to myself. I want to share it as much as possible, because it's so rare for me to feel this way. So it's special, and I want to hold on to it as long as possible. All right, guys. Well, that's it from me. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.